have ceased operations in the Pretoria CBD and around the Church Square due to the planned march to the Union buildings later today. Let's get more now from our reporter who's there, Offense Satimo. He's at Church Square. Offense, a very good afternoon to you. Organisers have said that they expect tens of thousands of people out in Pretoria today. By your estimates, do you think they've reached that goal?
Of that inheritance, today we are here to say we want to take South Africa back. It belongs to all of us, black, white, Indian and colored. America! And I want to tell you, when we stand united, we are better off. Fellow South Africans, I want to thank all the other political parties that are here. In fact, I saw some members of the Congress of the People. I saw people from the Economic Freedom Fighters here. I saw people from the African Christian Democratic Party. I saw people from Labour Movement, FEDUSA and many others. Today is not a march by one political party. I am most grateful about the fact that today is the People's March. And I want to stand and add my voice to South Africans who are marching in Durban. We say, South Africans marching in the Free State, South Africans who are marching in the Eastern Cape City, South Africans who are marching in Limpopo, and also I want to add my voice of support to South Africans marching in Tshwane in the Union buildings today. We stand together for South Africans have come out in their numbers today saying we are better together. I also want to thank all the businesses that have said to the people, we will close our businesses. I want to thank all the workers, all the employees, religious leaders from all spectrums, rich South Africans, poor South Africans. I think the message is clear. People are saying to me, why do you march when it affects Jacob Zuma? You don't watch about every other thing. I think I want to say this. This is about the future of South Africa. And the leader who is worth their salt understands, Khuri. The leaders stand in the front and they say, South Africa must go this way. I am worried that South Africa isn't going in the way that our democratic society wanted to go. I am scared that more people are going to lose their work. I am scared that inequality will rise. I am scared that as we've been downgraded to junk status, our currency will be manipulated. And I fear that more than anything, before we look up, more of us will be without work and more South Africans will be poor. And I know that it's not who we are made of. South Africans are made out of beautiful people, people who are diverse, who are innovative, the Mark Shuttlesworth of this world, people who are inventors, businesses who work together. And I'm saying the fault of this country is not the people of this country, it is Jacob Zuma. And ultimately we must stand together and say the direction of this country must be led by leaders who put South Africa first and not themselves first or the Guptas first. We want South Africa to prosper, a nation that is diverse. I stand with you, fellow South Africans, and I say, I want to tell you, our spirit will not be crushed. I want to tell you, today we stand up and we say, enough is enough. Holikani. This cannot be the new normal. This is not the new normal. The new normal will be a normal where we stand up as a people and say, today we reclaim South Africa. But I want to say this to you. Don't ever lose hope in our country. Prior to 1994, people said to themselves, South Africa will never be liberated. South Africa will always be what South Africa will be. Yet, under true leaders, people stood up and said, we deserve change. This moment is not a moment to despair. It's not a moment to give up. It's a moment to stand up again and say, like we saw it in 1994, we can bring about a new change, a change towards prosperity, a change towards a non-racial South Africa, a change where all of us can say, no, together we will go forward, together we will prosper, and South Africa will belong to all who live in it, black and white, colored and Indian, religious, gay, wherever you come from. This is your beautiful country, Amanda. I want to say this. Although the rating agencies have put us to junk status, our country is not a junk country. Jacob Zuma may have led us to this point, but I know with the unity of the people, with businesses who are here, with labor that is here, we will fight back and we will reclaim South Africa so that one day we are not called junk country. One day we will be a light of hope for the continent of Africa, so that when people look at Africa, they don't say this is a dark continent, they say this is a continent of prosperity, and it starts here in South Africa. And this, fellow South Africans, is a new struggle. It's a new struggle, and we can charter a better tomorrow. We can make sure when Jacob Zuma wants us divided, all of us can say we are united. When Jacob Zuma wants us to be poor, we say no, we are not poor, we can be rich. When Jacob Zuma wants us to say we are corrupt, we say we don't stand for corruption, we stand for clean government. When our people are looking to us, now more than ever is a moment when South Africa can take its direction to go forward. Fellow South Africans, we are not accepting the destruction of our country. We must stand up, we must stop it, but it will only happen when we stand together. Fellow South Africans, in 1994, all people from all walks of life, religious, ideological, political, cultural, came together to build a new South Africa. What I see in front of me reminds me of that, and it tells me that it's still possible. We come together under the spirit of Ubuntu. How is something you must share with someone else. It's better for us to put the interest of the country before anything else and stand united for its future around our shared goals. I want to say this to you. It takes profound maturity and it took vision. It wasn't people who are saying, I must benefit. It was people who are saying, these are ideals to which we are willing to die for. And I'm here to call on everybody, from civil society, from religious groups, from all communities. It is time that we rise above all our differences and say what unites us is the flag that South Africa is, and we are better together, and we can be the hope for the next generation of South Africans. Our children will one day ask us, what did you do? We can say we stood together and we chartered a new way to South Africa. And I want to say, when we adopted the Constitution of South Africa, it guaranteed everybody's rights. Everybody's right to march. Everybody's right to stand up together. And I want to say, if there is one thing we must restore in South Africa, is to say the Constitution, the rule of law, stands above any other thing. The sacred document must remain our guiding light. So when somebody violates the Constitution, it's not that they are violating a document, they are violating the very essence of who we are as a people. And I want to say, there is always a moment And that moment is now. Agona sebaka se se. Gona le se fela se le se ring. Modimo re file sebakanyana se. This is the moment. This is the time. And today we start a movement. I want to say this to you, we are not finished today, we are only beginning. Many more marches are coming. Some of us, it's going to be tough because you might have to give up going to work sometimes. You might have to say to yourself, I can't sit in the comfort of my own home or in my own community. It's time for us to get onto the streets of South Africa and say we will reclaim our communities. We will reclaim South Africa. And I am here to tell you that we begin a movement today. And on the 18th we will march, on the 27th we will march, because we will continue until we can say South Africa is back to where it belongs. We cannot sit back. It's better for us to go forward. Amanda! Can I tell you something? Everywhere I go, people look at me, they say, you are a beautiful people. They say from the beautiful sands of the Karoo, this is a beautiful country. They say from the beautiful and the majestic wildlife that we see, they say indeed you are a beautiful country. They look at our businesses, they look at labor, they look at our politics, and they say indeed you are a beautiful people. And ultimately they look at us, the people, and they say indeed it should always feel good, it should always feel proud to say we are all South Africans. We share one passport, we share one identity, and the flag that is South Africa brings us together, that says this nation can be great, this nation can be prosperous, this nation can go forward. And we have to start by fixing our government, removing Jacob Zuma, and chartering a way forward where competent people can be in government. We say, the new struggle has begun. Fellow South Africans, it is my hope, it is my trust. See, let me say this. We are not going to be divided. We are going to rekindle the spirit of 1994. History, fellow South Africans, will judge us harshly if we don't deal with this moment that calls us to be great, that calls us to be better than ourselves, that says perhaps we are the ones we have been waiting for. The time to act is now. Ons gaan vorentoe. Op hierdie stadium ons moet almal sê dat ons gaan vorentoe. Want almal vir ons is baie lief vir Suid-Afrika. Many people are saying to us, hey, ANC will fix itself, it will self-correct. I am not sure about that. I just think it's time for us to say, you and I and many others are going to forge a new path. We're going to decide our own destiny. We shall prosper, and our country is calling all of us to achieve that dream. And I'm saying this to you, we will only do it by uniting opposition parties across all spectra around shared values of constitutionalism and freedom. We will do it when we join hands with those in the ANC who say we still want the constitution, we still believe in non-racialism. We will chart our way forward. We will do it with the help of business. We will do it with the help of churches, with trade unions, with civil society. I say to you again, South Africa is not the property of one individual, one family, or one party. South Africa in the Constitution belongs to all of us who live in it. Thank you, God. This is indeed our beautiful country. It's time that each one of us take it back And I want you, as many of you are standing to your feet right now, that we unite. I want you to stand with the person next to you. I want you to hold hands with the person next to you as a symbol that we will not be defeated, as a symbol that we will not be divided, as a symbol that says we are better together and South Africa belongs to all. I ask you, fellow South Africans, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Let us begin the work. Let us stand together. Let us usher a new era. Let us change South Africa for the better. Let us prosper this nation. Let us build this beautiful South Africa of ours. Amurena, Amulukas Chamasayesu, Ngosi, Singaleli Africa, Hot Sin, South Africa. Let us live and strive and for freedom in South Africa, our beautiful land. Amanda! 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 Forward, South Africa, forward! Forward, South Africa, forward! Kereho ya Rona! Oh ya Rona! Oh ya Rona! Oh ya Rona! Kereho ya Rona! Oh ya Rona! Oh ya Rona! Oh ya Rona! Batelo te tata go imi makwala tata.
All right, we seem to have a problem with the sound there, but as you heard, Musi Maimane rousing up the crowds there as they make their way to Mary Fitzgerald Square for their march. We do have our reporters there standing by. Let's get more from them now. Griselda Lewis and Alvin St. Pierre, it's over to you.
Certainly of protest has changed, and it certainly seems that all South Africans have come forward. If you look at social media, for example, the hashtags that are trending at this point is hashtag People's March, hashtag DA March, hashtag Zuma must fall. So that's the sense that we're getting from South Africans across the fall since this morning. So I think I wouldn't really say unprecedented, but certainly very much scenes that are new to us as the media, where South Africans, white South Africans, have also come to the fore now.
And I think what makes this march even more interesting is that you have people who would ordinarily be at work today, but their companies have allowed them to come out and be part of this march. Just behind us, there's a company there that's called Grit. They have their employees here who are also protesting and calling on President Jacob Zuma to step down. Well, it's unprecedented, one has to say, because this march is not the People's March, as it's been called. It's not only taking place here in Johannesburg, it's not only taking place in Pretoria, it's a march that's taking place across the country and people picketing at various places, Griselda.
Well, certainly, Aldrin, I think now what really needs to be, what we will perhaps have to see next, is perhaps how government responds to this, because unprecedented in the sense that you've got so many South Africans from across the colour bar who've all gathered here at Mary Fitzgerald Square, who've gathered in Pretoria, in Graaff-Reinet, in the Western Cape, in eThekwini. So there are some marches as well that are for President Jacob Zuma. Of course you're going to get that, because in a democracy such as ours, everybody has the right to march. So I think I'm also quite impressed with what I've seen, is that we've not seen many scenes of violence. I understand there have been several clashes around the Bree Street area here in Johannesburg, but it's gone absolutely smoothly. You've had people, one voice, coming together and are dissatisfied with one particular thing, the manner in which this cabinet reshuffle had taken place. So how government is going to respond, that certainly remains to be seen.
Well, this is quite an extraordinary case as well, because one needs to consider that you have opposition parties as well who are part of this march. We saw members of the EFF, we saw members from other federations like Medusa as well. And one just wonders what this spells out on the 18th of April when Parliament sits down in that special city voting on the motion of no confidence against President Jacob Zuma. Because one is to realize that this is not just a march around morality. This is also a political march, and that political march for President Jacob Zuma to step down. But on the other hand as well, the DA ring-fencing his campaign that come 2019, we heard earlier on Maimane being introduced as the country's next president, for instance.
Okay, we're cutting you out of that. We're taking you now live to our reporter Mangoba Mqunu, who is live from Bree Street, where we believe that rubber bullets have been fired. Let's get the latest from him there, Mangoba.
Okay, well, scenes of chaos has broken here at Luthuli House as some of the ANC members as well as the MKMV members have now tried to go to the other march that has been organized by the DA. They tried to head towards the Mary Fitzgerald Square, where the DA is right now at this point gathering there. As you know, earlier on that they had that march. Now police have had to fire rubber bullets as well as tear gas. As I'm talking to you now, just a few moments ago, we saw some of the police here firing rubber bullets at some of the MKMV members. If I can just show you the scene this side, just to take a look there, you can see there a small group there standing and confronting police. We saw earlier on some members of the ANC also being shot at by police with rubber bullets, and certainly there's been injuries here. As you can see now, some of the officials from the MKMVA running that side, running in that direction, trying to calm the situation here. But we're certainly heading there just to see what's going on at this point. We did but speak earlier to ANC leaders as well as the MKMVA leaders, who did say to us that they can guarantee that there won't be any violence here today. But I mean, the scenes that we are seeing here now are certainly totally different to what they had said earlier. They had said that their members are demonstrating here peacefully, but what we're seeing here on the road now is a totally different scene from that. We're heading to that scene now just to see what's happening there. But at this point, what I can see is that there is a bit of an altercation there between the police as well as some of the supporters who wanted to go down to Mary Fitzgerald Square, where the DA members have gathered. And earlier on, just a few moments ago, we also saw some of the DA members making their way this side. It was a few of them, and what happened is that there was a confrontation between the supporters here that have gathered outside Luthuli House. They gave them chase, and as soon as they caught up with them, they tried to assault them, but then they were saved again by the police. So certainly some very let's say violent scenes that we're seeing here, but at the same time we haven't seen anybody being assaulted, but so far we've just seen threats of violence and intimidation. As you can see there now, the police here out in numbers with their rubber bullets, and just hoping to keep this group of people away from getting down to the Newtown area, which is just behind the police there. That's where the Newtown area begins, and that's where Mary Fitzgerald Square is. It's not very far from where the DA members have gathered. So certainly another attempt by the ANC supporters as well as the MKMVA members to try and go to that gathering by the DA in Newtown. But certainly the police have had their hands full this morning, working very hard to try and keep the protesters away from here. As you can see, there from the ANC trying to get the group back, to go back, because I mean, as things stand, there's currently an address by some of the ANC officials. There's an address there at Bearsno Square that they are having to those who have gathered there. But just taking you again as we are moving ahead, we're now going just to show you the number of police that have gathered here. You can see really it's a full force of police. They are out here in the streets. They're trying to control the traffic, but more importantly, they're trying to also avoid some of the ANC supporters from going down to Mary Fitzgerald Square, where the DA members have gathered at this stage. As you can see there, some of the police members, they're trying to mend things around. You can see that side. If you're looking at that side, you can see one of the hippos there with barbed wire, and this is of course to try and help should there be a situation where violence breaks. So certainly things are tense here around Luthuli House, and there has been injuries, about 3 or 4 people that we have seen that were injured when they were shot with rubber bullets by the police. So certainly we are keeping track of developments this side around, and we are hoping, that what the ANC had promised to say that there won't be any violence will happen. But obviously at this point we have seen some sort of intimidation and violence taking place, and certainly it looks like as if police are having their hands full at this stage. They are trying by all means. We can see a group there of Save SA protesters walking along there the street, and really, they are just walking about, but they're not anywhere closer to the ANC supporters, who have now been moved back by some of the officials here. So for now, the situation does remain tense here around Luthuli House towards Bree, and we'll really advise motorists, those who are driving on the streets, if they are heading anywhere towards this direction, not to come in this direction and to use alternative routes, as things are currently tense here.
So much, Mangoba Nkunu, alive there from near Luthuli House, where very tense scenes have broken out. We will keep you up to date with exactly what's happening there, but police keeping a watchful eye as just around the corner in the area of Newtown, the DA-led march has arrived at Mary Fitzgerald Square. So it seems that there is a bit of a tense standoff between the MK vets who have moved from their position at Luthuli House and trying to make their way to Mary Fitzgerald Square, and police having to intervene there. So tense scenes. We'll keep you updated with what exactly is going on there. But let's go now to our reporter, Ayanda Mhlongo. She's at Durban's North Beach. All right, no, we're going to Church Square now, Okay, I do apologize. We seem to have a bit of confusion as to exactly where we are going, but it seems that we're going to take you now. All right, we're going to take you to our reporter in Cape Town, to Parliament. Lukhanya Kalata is there. Lukhanya, we believe that the march in Cape Town has got underway. Lots of people out forming human chains, and a motorbike procession is making its way to Parliament. What can you tell us? All right, it seems that we don't have Lukhanya there at the moment. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll get all our reporters for you, bringing us the latest as to what exactly is going on across the country at these people's marches.